Hello everybody, this is Stu Johnson, going to take you through my first post. I thought a good teacher would of course follow his own advice. Well, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to follow my own advice. I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I'm teaching you how to do. I'm not just regurgitating something else. Someone else told me this is actually what I do. This is the site, howtomakeawebsiteworkforyou.com, and this site's going to go up the ranks, so you'll see proof that I practice what I preach. I think that's a good idea. So let's walk through our first. Let's go through our first blog post here. Now, what I want to stress is the title tag. I stressed that in my speech, and if you haven't heard the speech yet, tell me to send that to you, because that speech really helps anybody out on any level, beginner to advanced people in SEO, pull something out of it. So if you haven't gotten it yet, ask me for my SEO speech. Anyway, the keyword that we're going for this site is how to make a website. And the reason why we're doing it is because, it's somewhat crowded in Google, but I looked in some of the other search engines, like Bing, and there's not a whole lot of competition. People still use Bing to search, and it's a good way to kind of get your foot in the door if, there's no competition on Bing or Yahoo, and Google's all clogged up like it normally is. With a keyword like this, you can get some business. And most of my business is, referral and stuff like that. I'm not, big into cold leads coming in, but hey, if it happens, it happens. It's great. So let's include our keyword, how to make a website, in our title. This is very important. Further to the left, the better. Okay, how to make a website work for you. Okay. And then on the other side of the, we're gonna basically exercise some headline stuff. And this title is very important because, of course, this is what's going to show up in the search results. When I Google something, this is going to show up. So it's going to say how to make a website work for you. And then I've got a little dash here. Okay, now what I want to do is basically exercise the 4 U's. The 4 U's are like this. And if you don't have a video on this, tell me to send you this video as well. The 4 U's are unique, useful, ultra-specific, and urgent. Okay, those 4 things need to be in your headline. Not all 4, but a good amount of them do. So how to make a website work for you in 2 easy steps. Okay, so let's analyze this real quick. So is it useful? How to make a website work for you? Sure. Is it unique? How to make a website work for you in 2 easy steps? Nah, not really. So let's work on that. So how to make a website work for you in 2 easy steps. Now, uniqueness doesn't have to necessarily be derived from the phrase. You could put like an asterisk at the end like that. Okay, so there, unique. How to make a website work for you in 2 easy steps. Is it ultra specific? Yes. Numerals, specificity, offer validation. Okay. People are going to want to know. You tell people, look, these are 3 steps everyone needs to know about how to build a website. ... Someone's going to click through that, okay? Because you're kind of challenging them. You're teasing them. You're saying, if you don't know this, you could be going the wrong direction. People don't want to go the wrong direction. They want to find out the truth. So anyway, I digress. How to make a website work for you in 2 easy steps. So it's useful, it's unique, it's got the asterisk, it's ultra specific. Is it urgent? No. 2 out of 3, or I'm sorry, 2 out of 4 is good. 3 out of 4 is real good. If you can get all 4 elements, useful, unique, ultra specific, and urgent, if you can get all 4 U's in there, you're doing really good. I'm gonna leave it at 3 and see what happens. If I can always mix it up later. All right. You got to be careful with the urgency thing. If people think you're fooling them, pulling their leg. Only 14 left, 30 seconds left, stuff like that. People don't like that stuff, so stay away from that. They refresh your page and the timer starts all over again. Yeah, not good. Doesn't make you look like a very good person. Okay, and I know people that do this, the blind following the blind, don't do stuff like that. Bad news. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and write this article real quick. I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to come back and show you what I did. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Okay, so we've got our article done. We just need to add a few things here at the top. So I'm going to add make a website. I'm going to add the keyword one more time. Starting right now. And go ahead and make that a heading 1. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got. There are some, there's sort of like a blueprint you need to follow in order for your website to get the most bang for the buck. Basically, you know, if you're building backlinks to your post, you want to have your page optimized correctly. And I've written some things down in my head, and I'm about to write them down here at the bottom of this post. Now, these are the things you really need to have in your stuff. If you don't have this stuff, Google's not going to like you like everybody else. They're not going to give you a sucker. Okay, so H1, headline. Okay, so H1 headline needs to contain your keyword. An H2 headline also needs to contain your keyword. And then an H3 headline also has to contain your keyword. Okay, so you need an H1, H2, and an H3. They can all be found under this menu here. You see, you can select them. So what you do is, if say I want this, and you know, I want to come up here and I want to make this an H2. I just select heading 2. It already is an H2. It'll tell you what it is when you highlight it and you look up here. It'll tell you this is paragraph, and then highlight this H2. Okay. And you also want to make sure the first letter of each word are capitalized except for the words and, a, and of. Don't capitalize those. All right, so H1, H2, H3. What else? We need to boldface. Oops. Our keyword toward top of post. Okay, so we need to find our keyword somewhere at the top of the post. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Okay, software we did. Site work for you. Best to make a website. Okay, how to make a website. That's our keyword. So we're going to bold it. Boom. Okay, done. Okay. Preferably the first paragraph. Another thing about paragraphs, you don't want to go more than 3 sentences before you cut and you do a reset. Okay? So you don't want to let things go on. You don't want a giant block of text staring somebody in the face. They're not going to be interested in reading any of that, no matter how good it is. Okay, so make sure you break stuff up. See what I'm doing? I'm just breaking all this stuff up, little chunks. It's really easy. Easy for you too. And of course I have a picture in here. That's something else is coming up. So we bolded our stuff up at the top. Good. Okay. So what's next? Alright, next thing we need to do is we need to have an internal link somewhere on the page. An internal link is a link linking to another page. Now, since this is my first post, I would simply highlight a block of text because you want all of your posts to sort of complement each other and talk about each other, sort of storyboard everything, you know? So what you do is you come down in here and you look and you say, okay, well, so the use of web publishing software. You know, let's say you had another article on web publishing software. Just boom, then come up here, click the link, and then this down here, or link to existing content. This would expand when I hit this arrow, and it does a little bit, but I don't really have another article to post on here now, so I'm not going to do that right now. But that is something that you need to do. So you do need an internal link to another page from this article. That's called an internal link. Okay? There's outgoing links, incoming links, and internal linking. Okay? Those are the three biggies. Okay, have an internal link to somewhere on the page. Okay, you need your alt tag in your image. You need an image on every article you do in the article. Okay, you need that alt tag image in the article, and you need it tagged with your keyword. So let's come up here, and when we upload an image in WordPress, this is what I'm using. This is totally what I recommend is WordPress. I don't recommend any other content management system. There's a lot of others out there that I've tried, and WordPress is the king, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and that's okay. I don't mind being wrong. All right. So if we open up the image, we can see that alternative text here, okay, is how to make a website. Our keyword needs to go in this blank. If it doesn't, then we're just squandering our potential here, okay? Caption, if we put something in the caption, it has a tendency sometimes, and not all the time, but if you're putting a lot of stuff in there, it can offset the picture and make it look weird, so I just leave that blank. Title, you know, it can't hurt, and so I do it here too. So I just take this and put it up in there as well. So once you've done that, you want to align your picture to the left. This is what I do. So the print wraps on the right side like this, and you can see there's some space here. Okay, go to Advanced Settings, vertical space and horizontal space. Okay, I set these both at 11. 11, 11. And then I come down to the bottom and I update. So there's our picture. And if we had a caption, it would appear under, like right in between here, this line in the picture. It would just be under here. But when you get captions, sometimes it can mess stuff up and misalign stuff, and it's just a big pain. And you know that when you make a little mistake, you can spend all day, 3 hours fixing a tiny little mistake, and then it's time for bed, and you got nothing done. So how much fun is that? Okay. So you need an alt tag in your image, so we did that. And you need that in your article. You need to embed your video in your article from YouTube. Why do I recommend YouTube? Well, because it integrates easily with Google+. Google+ is an awesome social networking mechanism, whatever, and it's awesome. Like you can stream videos live from your YouTube channel from Google+ while you're doing a webinar on Google+. Record the webinar, then store it on Google+, and then people can come back and watch it over and over again. Okay, how awesome is that? I mean, talk about autopilot. I mean, that's pretty cool. So sign up for G+, sign up for YouTube. Those are the two biggies. Also, don't forget to sign up for Facebook and Twitter as well. Okay, everything else is a sideshow. Okay, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. I know it's cool. There's probably some people out there watching this going, "Oh, but you're forgetting Tumblr, dude." You know, and also I know, it's all cool, but let's get the big stuff out of the way first. Let's get the stuff that Google owns out of the way, right? We want to buy into their stuff. I mean, they own YouTube, they own Google+. Of course, they're going to prioritize that over everything else as their stuff. So let's do YouTube. So we got to embed the article here in our, embed the video in our article here somewhere, which we have not done yet. I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to go do that before we're done. So we'll go ahead and knock this down a little bit. All right. And we need our keyword in the first sentence and the last sentence. Now, there's something called over-optimization, okay? And I don't want to get into it too much, but I will give you the skinny. And basically it's this. If you over-optimize, that can hurt you too. So some of these things that I have on this list, like the H3 headline, you know, when you start to get going, do all of these things until you start rolling, until, you know, the website's rolling, you get traffic coming in, and so on and so forth. And then when you start to post articles, kind of cut back, you know, leave out the H3 and do everything else. And then on the next one, leave out don't leave out pictures, leave out the keyword in the first sentence. And then on the next article, leave out the keyword in the last sentence. You see what I mean? So leave one thing out. Don't leave too much out because you want to have most of it in there. But just kind of vary it up a little bit. It helps Google understand that you're natural. You know, you're doing some natural posting and stuff like that. You know, you're not getting all mechanical, even though, you know, some of this is mechanical. So this is basically the big list of stuff that you need to do. There are some other little things you can do. There's a plugin that you need to download for WordPress and install as a plugin, and this is what it is. It's called WordPress SEO by Yoast. So if you go me save this real quick. I'm just going to save this as a draft. So remember, you can do that. You can save things as a draft, and you can preview it, see what it looks like. Okay. But if you go to plugins here and you go to add new, and then you type in Yoast SEO, so that's going to be YOAST SEO, that plugin should come up. You need to install that. It is awesome. It's the best plugin I've ever used. Okay, and it checks everything for you. So you put your focus keyword down in here, how to make a website. Okay, that's our focus keyword. Is it, we got checkpoints. Article heading, is it in your title? Yes, we put it in our title. Or, I'm sorry, our heading is our header tag, essentially. Our page title, yes. Page URL. And what's cool about this is Yoast will put stuff in places that other, places you can't get to manually. So it'll go in and it'll do this for you. So it makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, it's just it's a tooth-pulling contest. Page URL. It's not in my page URL. We could make it in the page URL if we want to. So this is a page URL. How to make a website, workforyou.com. The post name is what it's going to be. So we can always change this later if we want. Okay. Page URL is necessary, but it's great, but it's not necessary. That's what I meant. Content, keywords 9 times. That's good. It's giving you green light. Meta description, yes. So that's good. And you can see that it throws in. See how it tosses this in here? It's just going to toss in the sentences, your heading from the first, your title, your heading 1, and then your first sentence. Okay, so your first sentence in your article, if you are not going to fill this out down here, okay, has got to be banging. Okay, so you got to come out. This first sentence has got to be banging. It's got to contain your keyword. Where's their websites online? This article will be on how to make a website work for you. You're not there. Okay? Some people, I think that would kind of spark someone going, I'm not there. How's that work? Well, it's autopilot, right? You're not there. It's working for you online. Taking orders. We might want to split this first paragraph up a little bit. Just chunk it down. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pause the video. Actually, I'm not going to pause the video. I'm going to do that last. I'm going to do the video last. But I just want to make sure that we go over all this stuff. Now, some of the places you can get hosting are BrainHost, Bluehost, HostGator, GoDaddy. I get my stuff at GoDaddy and HostGator. Bluehost, I got some stuff there as well. Namecheap is a great place to get domain names because they're very expensive. GoDaddy, I think, charges $10, $12. Namecheap's much less. But GoDaddy's kind of an all-integrated, all-inclusive, stratified solution. So I just do it that way. There's nothing outside of. I'm not going to buy a name on Namecheap, point it at GoDaddy hosting, and then do something else with some other. It can get really confusing when you start to do that. So that's essentially it. Now, if you do HostGator, you have cPanel. cPanel is an application, okay, that is running on almost all hosting servers, and that's what you normally use. GoDaddy does not use cPanel; they use their own cPanel, which I will have another video on. But cPanel is great; it is good. It's just I use GoDaddy. So, all right, so. That's basically it. H1, H2, H3, boldface your keyword near the top of the post. Have an internal link somewhere on the page. You need an alt tag in your image. It's in the article. Keyword in the first sentence and the last sentence. And then, of course, you need to embed your video in your article from YouTube. So I'm going to take this video of this article that I'm doing right now, and I'm going to upload it to YouTube, and then I'm going to embed it someplace in here. So if people want to just watch the video, then they can do that instead of read the article, because sometimes people, 50% of everything online is video now. So people don't like to read as much as they like to watch, and that's cool, because people I know that, I always liked it when they showed movies in science class. I learned a lot more and had more fun watching than I did like listening to the science teacher drone on, about molecular biology or whatever. Okay. So that's basically it. I've got 1,000 words in this one. If you look down here, this one's 1162. This is a meaty article, and the reason why it's really meaty is because the first one the first article you do, you need to be over 1,000 words. This is just my own, this is my opinion. This is what's worked for me in the past. I'm not saying you have to do it. It's not a binding requirement, it's just a guideline. But over 1,000 words for your first article, over 700 for your second article, and then between 500 and 800 for your third article. Okay, so 3 articles is what you want to start with on your site. And notice how I have my keyword, how to make a website work. How to make a website. So that's a 5-word phrase that is good. That's a good seed word, because there's how to make a website work for you for free, how to make a website free, how to make a website in 24 hours, there's a bunch of different keywords that spawn off of this seed word, okay? And so you want to find something that is high traffic, which is what this is. How to make a website is very high traffic. You want to find something that's low competition. You also want to find something that is that is converting. That is, people are paying for the keyword on AdWords. The pay, cost per click. I think how to make a website's $100 a click or something ridiculous. But I found it, and I kind of had to dig a little bit. It doesn't seem like I'd have to dig for that, but I dug around, and this is the one. This has a lot of traffic. It should rank fairly quickly. Now, my URL is new. Okay, so how to make a website work for you.com. It's new. Google likes aged websites, normally over a year old, but it doesn't. You can still rank okay. So that is essentially it. The other thing that I can give you, and this is over and above, but if you find your keyword again, go ahead and do, let's see here, go ahead and underline it. You would underline another instance of your keyword. I'm not going to search for it. Underline another instance of your keyword, and then you would also italicize. So bold, up at the top, underline, italicize. Okay? There's some plugins out there that recommend you do this stuff. I recommend you do it too. I've been recommending you do this for a long time, before those plugins even came out. If you are interested in getting one of those plugins, there should be a link somewhere near this video that will get you that plugin. So you can go there and get it, try it out. I think there's a trial, but it's a decent plugin. It works, and it makes sure that you do these things every single time. You sort of have to get into the habit of being consistent, focusing, and making the same types of doing the same thing every time. That's all you're doing. Okay, let's look over here at tags. Okay, tags, how to make a website, how to make a website an app, how to make a website for free. So I'm talking about how to make a website for kids, how to make a website free, how to make a website, how to make a website for anything, fill in the blank. I just said how to make a website work for you. That's what the site's called. So my site, how to make a website work for you, is all about how to make a website work for you. That's it. So your URL should actually tell the people what it is you do. What are you doing? I'm teaching people how to make a website work for them. Okay. So that's basically it. All right. So I am going to I'm going to pause the video. Actually, I can't pause I can't pause the video and upload it at the same time, so I'm not going to pause the video, but when this article is done, you will see this video that I'm doing right now that'll be embedded in the article. So that's basically it. Now, let's go down to the bottom. Let's take another look at the Yoast stuff. Okay, we need a page URL. That's no big deal. We can do that later. SEO title. Okay, if you don't fill this in, it'll just put what you did up here. So the SEO title can be left. That's fine. If you want to fill out the meta description, it's good to say how to make a website work for you in 2 easy steps, 2 or 3 times. But you don't want to do that anymore, really, because of the algorithms and everything's changed. So you want to go with the Yoast settings. Yoast is a great company, man. They know what they're doing as far as SEO goes, like nobody's business. So if they say that meta description is good, then you're good. You don't need to do any more. That's fine. Okay, but you can if you want. Try it. Try different things. Split test things. A/B split test. Try this. Try that. Just try things out. Don't try too many things out at first. Just follow my lead. Okay, but when you get going, you'll have more latitude to try new things and throw new stuff in the bucket. All right. Let's look at a few more things. Now, if we go to the second tab, page analysis, it's going to tell us some stuff we need to do. All right. Well, it said I was cool with my meta description, and now it's telling me no meta description has been specified. Search engines will display copy from the page instead. Okay, that's a red. Okay, that means you're lazy, you need to do a meta tag. Okay. So we'll go back to general. Okay. Remember, now when we're writing a meta description, there is of course the the blue link in the search results, the big blue link that says, your title. This is what's underneath. So let's apply the 4 U's: unique, ultra specific, urgent, and useful. Let's apply them. So learn 3 proven ways to make a website work for you. Okay? And then we're going to dash, and then we're going to go looking to make a website work for you. Okay, see how I'm working it in? And notice at the end of each sentence I'm either putting 3 dots, a question mark, or an exclamation point, which I'm going to do. This is kind of a command. Website work for you. 1 exclamation point is enough, folks. Don't do 2, 3, or 18, something like that. People really get crazy with the exclamation points, and that is a downer for people. People do not like that. I know when I see stuff that's exclamationized, I don't usually click on it. Okay, so we'll save this and see what we got. So now we're just kind of tweaking our article. We've got all the big stuff out of the way, just need to tweak it a little bit. Make sure it lines up with all the SEO stuff we need to do. So go back to page analysis. It does not contain the target keyword. To make on how to make a website work. Looking on how. I knew I was missing something. And you'll do stupid little stuff like that for you. And then you got to watch your characters. It shows you down here. See, I got 20. Looking for info. Best info on how to make a website. Notice I left out work for you because I don't have any more characters left. I'm down to 0. So let's go up and save that. Let's try again. Sometimes you forget your own keyword. I don't recommend that. But see, these tools help you remember. Because I went back and checked and said, hey, nope, didn't work. Okay, so it's good. It's like a double check, triple check. The keyword for this page contains 1 or more stop words. Consider removing them. A stop word is A. Okay? So let's go back. Based on how make. Well, that's part of my keyword phrase, so not a whole lot I can do there. So I'm going to leave it. It's part of my keywords phrase. The keyword phrase does not appear in the URL for this page. Okay, we're going to fix that. Just remember to fix that. No outbound links appear in this page. Consider adding some as appropriate. Of course, outbound links are people that are commenting, linking back to this page because it's going to link to another site. That's an outbound link, and we'll get those. This page title contains 89 characters, which is more than the viewable limit of 70. Some words will not be visible to users in your listing. Okay, so it's telling you you're running off the page. Everything else gets a green light. Check it out. We're good. Okay, so how to make a website work. Make a website in 2 easy steps. Here. Take out the risk. It's called risk reversal. Risk reversal is the key. You have to take out all the risk. You know, people don't want to risk anything, especially now. You know, times are tough, money's tight. You know, you got to watch it, and so let them preview the product for 60 days. I mean, put your money where your mouth is. I mean, if you are who you say you are, and you know all this stuff, then you should be able to let them preview it for 6 months. You know, if there's something wrong, then it's your fault. They give it back, and you do your job. So there you go. So we've got something going on here. So let's go back to page analysis. So all the yellows, we're going to be good. We're fine. The page character thing, we could shorten this. We kind of did. I mean, this is our keyword phrase, so we have to keep that. 2 easy steps, guaranteed. We could take that out. Save draft. Then we'll go back and check it again. It'll probably turn green. Got my fingers crossed. But you see this here? See, this is SEO. It's green. It means it's good. If Yoast says you're doing good, you're doing good. So let's go back to the page analysis. And it contains 77 characters, blah, blah, blah. We could narrow it down to 2 friggin' words, I guess, if we wanted to. But this is what you need to do. You want all greens in here. No big deal. We've got some stuff here. We're good. All right. And here, you don't need to really worry about this stuff right now. This is advanced stuff, social stuff, Facebook description. You know, this can help you. So this basically describes your Facebook page. Remember the pages I told you to sign up for? Your Facebook page, you're going to need one, and Google+. This will help the search engines relate you to those 2 different platforms. So you can do this. Now, advanced stuff is advanced, okay? So we don't need to worry about that right now. But social is what's going on for sure as far as, you know, the diversity that you have on your site. You need to have a Google Plus page. Remember, Google Plus, YouTube account, Facebook, and Twitter. Write those 4 down. Make sure you have them. Now, as far as these keywords over here, these tags, okay, you have to harvest these. You can go to Google AdWord tool or the Google tool, whatever they call it now. They're always changing it to something else. And go there and use their tools to get some keywords that sort of, you know, piggyback on your keyword. How to make a website is the core. You can see it. How to make a website for kids. How to make a website like Facebook. How to make a website mobile friendly. How to make a website on Google. How to make how to make a website. That's what it's all about. If you do go to, I can show you something. You can do it this way. If you can find a good way to grab this stuff. Let's see here. Okay, how to make a website. Okay, this engine's not going to do it. Okay, so if we start typing in how to, okay, see all these keywords that show up? Okay, how to make a website. Make a website. Okay, this is the same stuff that I had in my tags, right? Okay, so you can write these down and put them in your tags. That's one way you can do it. You have to write these down. You can't cut. I don't think you can cut and paste any of that stuff, but you can get it from Google Tools. I will have another video on how to do that. But for right now, like I said, tags are of course important, and I'll have another video on how to get good tags for your post. But just make sure your keywords in all the places that we talked about, and you should be really good. So we've got real good SEO now. Now we're ready to build backlinks to our article, and not a minute before. Because if we just slather something out on the page, throw an image in it, and start building backlinks to it, it's just not the way to go. I can tell you that right now. You probably already know that, but we know a lot of stuff that we probably shouldn't do that we do, and I have some things that of course, advice is you got to quit that. So that's basically it. This has been the first video on how to set up your article. And articles, this is a good benchmark for any post that you're going to put up. You got to make sure it's optimized before you start building links to it. So anyways, this is Stu Johnson with how to make a website work for you.com, and if you have any questions or comments, you can use a site form to contact me, or open up a support ticket, or just use a Fiverr contact system. I've got exclusive gigs on Fiverr. I do only on Fiverr. I don't do them anywhere else. So that's basically it. So find the link for if you need to be reminded of what you need to do on every post, which is probably not a bad idea. Click the link below this video. It'll take you to a site where you can sign up for that plugin and get a free trial and all that stuff, and make it work for you. Because I would at least get into that mode, and then you can just remember what you're supposed to do after a while. Plus, they update the plugin and do all kinds of cool stuff, and I just don't use them anymore because I pretty much know what to do. So anyway, don't want to keep you too much longer. If you have any questions, like I said, please submit a ticket or just give me a question. Check out some of the links around this video. You're probably wondering, what's next. I've got the next video on the way. Check it out, and take care of yourself. Once again, this is Stu Johnson with howtomakaWebsiteWorkForYou.com.